What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and today's video, it's This Week in Funko Pop News. Working title in progress. It's going to be the ongoing series that I started last week, where I go through the Funko Pop announcements from this past week, and after I discuss about my opinions of all the announcements, I'll be comprising a top 5 list of my favorite individual Funko Pops from those announcements. And if you guys have been enjoying this series, let me know if you want this to continue in the year of 2025, but let's get right to it. So the first announcement of the week was the release of the Bullseye as Raphael with Bullseye as Mikey Chase. Now, not gonna lie, I think that the ad icons have been very lackluster throughout the year of 2024, but I can honestly say that this is basically a highlight of the ad icons. I love the thought process that goes through this, where of course it's Bullseye as a certain turtle, one of the turtles actually being on the head, and he's sitting in the Target basket with a different colored skateboard and the slice of pizza hanging off the side. And I love the aspect also that not all of the turtles are easily accessible. This past week, people have been receiving their redeemable pops from the Batman 85th Series 1 set. And still, after looking at the photos people have been posting about these, I still think that it may be one of the worst sets of Funko NFTs of all time. I'm not a fan of the whole idea of the translucent body, but showing off the outfit, especially Freddy Funko as Nightwing, which just feels like Nightwing because the crown also is translucent. Funko had announced during this week a pop of Direct from Domingo for the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary set. Now, I know a lot of people were super hyped about this because if I'm not mistaken, this was a skit on Saturday Night Live like a month ago. So this is something fairly new, which Funko has been capitalizing on a lot of recent events into their Funko Pops as of late, which we're actually going to be talking about a pop that goes with that category later on. Next up, we have ourselves a set of NFL Pops, which include Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Geno Smith, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Justin Jefferson. Now, if you viewed last week's news video when we had a set of NFL Pops announced, you know my opinion of what I think about the NFL overall. But the pop that I want to talk about is, of course, the Patrick Mahomes, because not only will this be another TargetCon 2025 exclusive, but this actually has a brand new pose compared to any of the NFL Pops. Next up, we have a brand new wave of Pokemon Pops, and pardon my mispronunciation of the majority of names, we got Fuecoco, Zorua, and of course, the long-awaited pop of Gengar. Finally have, after so long, an official announcement of a Gengar Funko Pop, and it has a lot of people talking because I think they did Gengar dirty, not gonna lie. It looks okay, but at the same time, I think they should have changed the posing up a little bit, like maybe the arm sticking out. I think it may actually would have benefited better with the red eyes instead of the typical black eyes. Then we have some Movies Pops for Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, and Say Anything. One thing I will say though is, dang, Molly Ringwald is definitely getting some bank when it comes to Funko, because even the next announcement is a brand new wave of Breakfast Club Pops, which of course has her character of Claire involved in the set, along with Brian, Bender, Allison, and Andrew. Now, it's really cool to see Funko dive back into these older sets because of course the original set of Breakfast Club Pops came out at around the time that this movie's lineup was in the 100s. So I think it's all the same characters besides one character. We got ourselves a new wave of Golden Girls Pops, which of course just features the regular 4 Golden Girls. It's just different outfits. These Pops are okay. I do like the different posings involved, and especially Rose, where it looks like she's like doing some sort of stretch, like holding her knee. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, it's like I've seen quite a bit of Golden Girls Pops already. How many more do we really need? A brand new set of Ferris Bueller's Day Off Pops had been announced with Ferris, Sloan, and Cameron Fry. Once again, just like I mentioned with the Breakfast Club and probably 16 Candles, another set of Pops that we had back in the day that some people who are just joining within the last couple of years may not have been able to obtain, but now they can with this new set. Next up is a 10-inch Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, which I couldn't give two shits about this. We don't need 10-inch Pops of the most popular character. It just doesn't make sense unless they were actually like massive, but this just doesn't make sense. Then we have a set of pops for Mars Attacks, which has a couple of common pops and then a specialty series exclusive which has a glow-in-the-dark chase. Once again, going back to licensors that had sets way back in the day and were revisiting them again, so it's really cool that they're diving into this set again, especially how amazing that chase is, even compared to the common version. I think all of the Martian Soldier pops in this set are pretty cool, but that chase is just over the top, something that we haven't really seen in chase figures in quite a while, especially this year in 2024 when there weren't that many good chases. Then we got ourselves some Hello Kitty and Friends pops, which these look all right. These kind of actually make me feel a little bit hungry because they look like ice cream cones, and yeah, I kind of want to go get an ice cream now. So let's get this and go on to the next pop. We got ourselves a new wave of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops, which features a couple of common pops along with a GameStop exclusive. But then we have ourselves the very first pop in the Funko Pop Plus lineup for Yu-Gi-Oh! Being Dark Magician. I felt like the day was going to come at some point where they decided to add one of these John Pops to this set. Now, you probably have no idea why I just referred to it as a John Pop, and that's because John is the name of the person behind the Funko Pop Plus Instagram account. So I think because he was Funko Pop Plus before Funko decided to make their own lineup, I'm just gonna kind of honor him in a way and start calling Funko Pop Pluses as John Pops. We have ourselves a John Pop of Dark Magician, which looks cool already, but I hate the fact that it's considered a plus, especially when you do look at the Elemental Hero Pop that's a GameStop exclusive. It has the same thing going on to include a base along with it technically, so I don't know why that pop isn't considered a Pop Plus or a John Pop, but this Dark Magician pop is. However, I am going to be adding this at some point to continue my ongoing set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Pops, but I may wait until my local GameStop ends up doing another one of those sales so that I buy it at a much cheaper price. And the last pop that was announced throughout this week is a pop of Astrobot as a part of the winning game for Game of the Year. Now, I believe if I'm not mistaken, the whole thing behind this was that it was between this game and another one, and whoever was going to win would end up getting a Funko Pop, which I do really like that concept, especially when it comes to the championship pops they've done for certain sports, where whoever the winning team is, they get like a 5-pack of pops. So this is what I was referring to earlier about capitalizing on recent events. So now Funko does have, I believe, a pre-order list of getting this Funko Pop with a pop protector for a limited time. Now, before we end off this video, of course, we're going to be doing that top 5 list of my favorite Funko Pops individually that were announced throughout this week. Coming in at number 5 on my list is Gengar from Pokemon. Even though I'm not entirely the biggest fan of this pop, at least finally we have ourselves a Gengar pop, and it had a lot of people talking, even though it kind of looks like you could put Thanos' face on it. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the pop of Astrobot for the games lineup. I thought the design looks pretty cool. I've never actually played the game yet, and I think it is a PlayStation exclusive, and I have Xbox, so I can't exactly play it, but I think the overall detail of this pop is really cool, especially how they executed the eyes. And of course, this pop actually is going to be one of those pops that has that new QR code sticker when it eventually releases. Coming in at number 3 on my list is the Funko Pop Plus, or John Pop, of Dark Magician. Now, of course, at some point I'm going to be getting this pop, which is why it definitely made it onto the list, but I don't like how it is a Pop Plus or a John Pop, which makes it a little bit more expensive, but I still think that the detail is absolutely awesome with that base involved with that pop, but I'm gonna wait out on it. Coming in at number 2 on my list is the Bullseye with Mikey for the Ad Icons lineup. Like I mentioned right at the beginning, I felt the ad icons were a little bit lackluster this year, but this is kind of a highlight of it. And I specifically chose Mikey because Mikey is my favorite of the 4 Ninja Turtles, and I love the closed eyes of this pop compared to the common, and of course it still has the same aspect of the target basket and the pizza hanging off the side. And I think the pizza is very fitting for the Mikey pop because Mikey is the turtle that's best known for excessively eating slices of pizza. And coming in at number 1 is the Chase variant of the Specialty Series exclusive Martian Soldier. I honestly feel like I'm not the only one that would agree with this. I feel like a lot of you guys would definitely agree that this may be the best Funko Pop this week, and perhaps when we do the end of the month top 10 list, this might even be number 1 as the best pop of the month. Everything that goes along with this Chase is absolutely amazing, especially changing the whole head sculpt with the exploding brain, the eye falling down, the stuff coming out of the mouth, and especially the tongue hanging out of his mouth. They ended up really changing this pop to where it looks like an amazing Chase, and one of the best ones probably that's going to be released in 2025. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video of me talking about this past week's Funko Pop announcements, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below on what you think about this week's announcements, and I hope to see you guys on another video here on the channel. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.